Have you ever woken up and for a second you feel okay, and then suddenly they're the first thing on your mind again? That was me until today. Something shifted. I woke up this morning and something felt different. I didn't feel that heaviness in my chest. I didn't feel the urge to check my phone to see if they texted or to replay old messages. I just felt calm. And honestly, that scared me a little because I got so used to missing them that not missing them felt unfamiliar, because when you've been attached to someone, your body gets used to that cycle, thinking about them, missing them, checking for them. It almost becomes a habit. And when that habit starts to break, it can feel uncomfortable, like something is missing, even if what's missing was hurting you. I'm starting to realize, sometimes we don't miss the person, we miss the pattern. And if you've been feeling that too, you're not crazy, because for the past few weeks, my mornings have been the hardest. That quiet moment when you first wake up and reality hits you all over again. They're not here, they're not choosing you, and there's nothing you can do to change that. But today, I didn't feel sad. I felt something else. I felt anger, and I didn't expect that at all. How could someone go from choosing you to becoming cold? How could someone ask for your love, receive it fully, and then walk away like it meant nothing? That part still doesn't make sense to me, and maybe it never will. And I think that's one of the hardest parts of healing. Accepting that you might never get the clarity you're looking for. No explanation, no closure, just silence. And silence is loud. It makes you question everything. What you meant to them, what was real, what you could have done differently. But the more I sit with it, the more I understand something important. Closure doesn't always come from them. Sometimes it has to come from you. I realized something in that moment. I've been giving them something they no longer deserve. My time, my energy, my love. Even after they left, even after they showed me they couldn't hold it. And that's when it clicked for me. Just because I have love to give doesn't mean everyone deserves to receive it. So today I made a decision. I'm not giving them any more of me. Not my thoughts, not my attention, not my emotional energy, because my presence is valuable. My love is not something people get to experience casually. I used to think love meant giving everything, being patient, being understanding, giving people the benefit of the doubt, but I'm learning now. Love also requires boundaries, because without boundaries, you end up pouring into people who don't know how to pour back into you. And that's not love. That's self-abandonment. It's something that should be protected, reciprocated, chosen. But healing isn't that simple, because right after that anger came something else. Doubt. What if everything we had was a lie? What if I ignored the red flags because I wanted it to work so badly? What if deep down, I knew this wasn't right, but I stayed anyway? And that's a hard thing to sit with, because it forces you to look inward, not to blame yourself, but to understand yourself. I started realizing maybe it wasn't that I was too much. Maybe I was just giving my love to someone who couldn't meet me there. And that doesn't make me wrong. It just means I was loving in a place that couldn't hold it. And that realization changed the way I see myself. Instead of asking, why wasn't I enough? I started asking, why was I trying so hard to be enough for someone who wasn't showing up for me? And that question shifted something inside me. I caught myself wanting to stay angry, because anger feels powerful. It feels like control, like you're finally taking your power back. But the truth is, staying angry only hurts me. And maybe you felt that too, holding on to something they've already let go of. They don't know I'm angry. They're not feeling what I'm feeling, and they're living their life, while I'm sitting here holding on to something they already let go of. So who is this anger really affecting? Me. So instead, I'm choosing something different. I'm choosing neutrality, not pretending I don't care, not forcing myself to move on, not suppressing my emotions, but also not letting them control me. I'm learning to sit with my feelings without becoming them. And if you're in that stage right now, I know how hard that is, because feelings are temporary, even the heavy ones. And I've noticed the more I try to fight them, the longer they stay. But when I allow myself to feel without judgment, they pass. And every time they pass, I become a little stronger. I want to be happy again, not for them, not to prove anything, not to show them what they lost, but for me, because I deserve that, because I know the kind of life I want. I want abundance, not just in love, but in my life, in my peace, in my happiness, in the way I show up for myself. Because I've realized the relationship I have with myself sets the standard for everything else. Peace, a calm nervous system, a love that feels safe, not confusing. And I know I can't attract that if I'm still holding on to someone who couldn't give it to me. This experience made something very clear to me. I don't just want love, I want the right kind of love. I want a partner who can accept my love and give it back to me. Someone who stays even when things get uncomfortable, even when it's not easy. Someone I can be vulnerable with without feeling like I have to hold back parts of myself. Because I don't want to love carefully anymore. I want to love freely and be met with the same energy, because the right person won't make you question your softness. They'll protect it. And even through all of this, I'm grateful. I'm grateful I have my own space, that I created a safe environment for myself. I'm grateful I'm healthy, that I wake up every day with another chance to rebuild myself. And I'm grateful for the small things, like coming home to my dog. That kind of love is so pure. There's no confusion, no mixed signals, no wondering where you stand. And it made me realize love shouldn't feel like something you have to chase. It should feel like something you can rest in. So consistent. And it reminds me what love should actually feel like. There is still so much good in my life, even if my heart is still healing. One of the hardest parts has been forgiving myself for not seeing things clearly, for staying longer than I should have, for not regulating my emotions the way I wish I did. But I'm learning something important. I did the best I could with the version of me I was at the time. And that version of me was just trying to love. So instead of judging her, I'm starting to thank her for loving deeply, for trying, for believing in something. Because even though it didn't work out, that version of me was real. And I don't want to lose that. I just want to protect it better. I'm learning to have compassion for her, because healing is not linear. Some days I feel strong, grounded, at peace, and other days I wake up thinking about the past, the good times, the laughter, the version of them I fell in love with, and I miss it. But I have to remind myself, just because something was real doesn't mean it was meant to last. I've accepted what happened, not because I'm okay with it, but because I know I can't change it. Everything in life changes, and the more I resist that, the more I suffer. So I'm learning to let go, to let life move through me, instead of trying to control everything. I still have moments. Even today, at work, I felt sadness, and that's okay. I'm not fully over it, and I don't need to be. It hasn't been that long. So I'm giving myself permission, because healing doesn't happen when you rush it. It happens when you allow it, when you stop trying to be okay all the time, and just let yourself be human, to grieve, to feel, to have bad moments without thinking I've failed. At the same time, I'm practicing something new. Even when I feel sad, I try to feel gratitude, because both can exist at the same time. I have people who love me. I have a life that's still unfolding. I have so much that I used to pray for, and I'm not going to let one person take that away from me. I'm learning how to self-nurture, how to show up for myself, how to be kinder to myself. Instead of critical, I'm building emotional resilience, slowly, quietly, but consistently. And for the first time, I feel something I didn't expect. A little bit of excitement for my future, even if it's small, even if it feels forced sometimes, even if I have to fake it, just a little. Because one day, I won't be faking it anymore. I know now. I want someone who gives me their presence, their heart, their consistency, and I'm no longer willing to settle for less. And maybe that's what this phase is really about. Not getting over someone as fast as possible, but coming back to yourself, learning who you are outside of them, rebuilding your peace, your confidence, your sense of self. Because at the end of all of this, you're still here. And that means you get to start again. Healing isn't linear, but I am moving forward, even on the days it doesn't feel like it. And right now, that's enough. If you're watching this and you're still hurting, take your time. You don't have to rush this. You're allowed to feel everything and still be moving forward